But I think ideally, if they had a third catcher, they may have been able to pinch it like you said. But how about we blame the players? That's why the Red Sox had a tough weekend. Keith in Stamford's on the Fan. What's up, Keith?
Not too much. How you doing, Evan?
Good.
I think you deserve a lot of credit for pointing out that, I'm a Yankees fan, and it's great to see the Yankees playing well and winning games. But even as they win games, there's, some unsettling decisions being made by Joe Girardi. And this is something that's been a theme all year long. Even early in the season, in that when they swept the Twins earlier in the year at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
It was the same sort of thing where they're winning games, but you still get some decisions from Girardi that worry you and make you wonder, when it comes down to the playoffs, if he's going to be able to make the right decisions with that bullpen. But I think the guy who deserves a lot of the credit for the Yankees' success this year, obviously the three big signings, Teixeira, Sabathia, Burnett, have all worked out great. But it's been the little moves that Brian Cashman's made, the Ramiro Peñas, the Alfredo Aceveses. Now, Jerry Hairston Jr. is a really underrated move. He's a great addition, I think, to the team. Nick Swisher, you can't say enough about. And pretty much every single move that Cashman's made this year has worked out, where looking at the Red Sox, whether it's John Smoltz or Mark Kotsay, none of their moves have worked out. So I think, the GM for the Yankees really deserves a lot of credit this year.
He does, especially considering a lot of us were getting on Brian Cashman for some of the moves he's made. But you're right about the little moves working out better for the Yankees. And I think sometimes with these little moves, it varies year to year. The last few years, some of those moves have not worked out for the Yankees, and now they are. And I thought the Jerry Harrison acquisition was a very big acquisition. I know it's small, but little things like that. Eric Hinsky coming over, hitting for a ton of pop. You're right about that. Look, I think there are going to be moves throughout the course of a season you're going to question with a manager. And here's why I'm not worried about Girardi in a big spot. Because I think a lot of the questionable moves we have, and a caller mentioned this earlier, may be dictated from up top. It may be about not overworking Phil Hughes, not overworking some of your young pitchers. I think when push comes to shove, and the Yankees are playing in October, and I think we could all agree the odds are very good right now that the Yankees are going to be playing in October. It would take, I don't want to say collapse, but it would take a lot for the Yankees not to be there, especially with the way they're playing. I don't think Girardi is going to have those same restrictions. And when he's playing a postseason game, even if Phil Hughes has pitched a lot, I think he's going to use him if it gives his team the best chance to win. I think we'll see Mariano for more than 4 outs in the playoffs. I think you throw the book out when you're playing October ball. And I mentioned this earlier, barring rainouts, you have so many off days during the playoffs that overwork is not going to be an issue. Because unless there's bad weather, which could happen, and all of a sudden you got the first 2 games rained out and you're playing back-to-back, you're going to have those built-in off days during the postseason, so you're never going to have to pitch Phil Hughes 3 or 4 days in a row. It's never going to be an issue. 718-937-6666. Evan Roberts on the Fan. We continue with your calls after this.
WFAN New York.